And now let's turn to Kenry Hilton for This Week in Adventist History. This week, what do a drunkard and an outlaw have to do with the first Adventist church in Brazil?
This week, we learn of how God used the unlikeliest of people, including an outlaw and a drunkard, to orchestrate the planting of the first Adventist church in Brazil. It was in the late 1870s that a young man by the name of Drunkard got into trouble with the law and fled from Brazil back to Europe as a stowaway. Somewhere along that journey, he passed to Adventist missionaries the name and address of his stepfather, Carlos Driefk, who lived in Brusque. Not long after, Carlos unexpectedly received multiple deliveries of packages of Adventist literature, including copies of the evangelistic magazine Voice of Truth. He was reluctant to accept these, but a village drunkard agreed to take the papers so he could sell them and use that money to buy drinks. So this drunkard became an unlikely colporteur. Additionally, those papers that could not be sold were used to wrap groceries at the store. And those wrappings and books made their way into the homes of families in the community. Their words captivated the hearts of readers and turned many to the Sabbath truth. With the field being prepared through an unusual form of literature evangelism, Pastor Frank Westphal organized a church in the late 1890s with 23 members. And so, on March 23, 1896, under the supervision of German native Huldrych von Graff, the first Seventh-day Adventist church was constructed in Brazil. The church was built at Gaspar Alto, which is just outside the city of Brusque in Santa Catarina. The church is known locally as Igreja Adventista de Gaspar Alto. This history reminds us that God can use the unlikeliest and seemingly worst among us to spread the gospel and advance his mission. And that was This Week in Adventist History.